I'm Jessica Brevoort, and this is Kitchen Table Productions, a show all about living well with low carb. Well, today I have a truly decadent delight for you today. You really have to be a low carber not to be afraid of this one. It's the bacon wrapped and cheddar stuffed hot dog, and it is just mondo fabulous. So I'm going to show you how to make one right now, and let's get started. Okay, now the very first thing I did was I pre-cooked my bacon. Now you can see it's not cooked all the way through. It's still very pliable and still a little pale. It's only just beginning to crisp on the edges here. Usually about 3 minutes or so in a pan over medium heat will do it. I actually cooked this bacon by the baking method. I put it in a cold oven, I set it to 450, and I kept checking back in with it every few minutes until it was where I wanted it. Now I have here my 2 hot dogs, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to butterfly these, which means I'm going to cut them down through the center. I'm actually going to make several passes here because I don't want to go all the way through. There. That's pretty good. And when you get to the end, you can kind of push them apart, just like that. You do have to have some place to stuff the cheese after all. There we are. And now, I'm going to take these dogs and put them on my broiler pan here. Obviously you can make as many of these as you want at a time. You'll need about 2 pieces of bacon for every dog you're doing. I'm just going to do 2 today. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them in my broiler until they get a nice coating of brown on the top. That'll give us a lot of great flavor on our dog. Now I'm not going to tell you how long to cook these because as with any broiler method, you really need to keep an eye on it. What we're looking for is a lot of nice color along the faces. There, that's starting to develop some nice brown. We'll be pulling it out in just a few moments. There we go. See that brown? That's what we want. Now when they're cool enough to handle, we have to stuff them with the cheese. I've got here 2 sticks, about 1 ounce each of this cheddar cheese. I've kind of sliced them along the length to hopefully make it easier to stuff. There's only so much cheese you can stuff into a dog. I'm going to grab one of my pieces of bacon. And this is why it still has to be pliable, because it has to be able to go around. There we go, just like that. If you've got an end here that likes to flop open, you can just secure it with a toothpick. I like to, if possible, keep the ends underneath, just because they're already the crispiest part of the bacon, at least if you've used the baking method like I do. There we go. This one's trying to get away from me. There we are. Now I'm just going to move these back onto my broiler and broil them until the bacon is crispy and the cheese is melted. There they are. You see how the edges of the bacon are starting to brown? Getting nice and crispy. The cheese is starting to melt out of the ends. Those are just about perfect. I'm going to go ahead and pull them. And here they are. So those just look great. Well, that's our bacon wrapped and cheddar stuffed dog. I hope I've inspired you to try it. Now, I'm not going to tell you how many carbs are in this because that's going to vary depending on what hot dog you pick. A lot of the leading manufacturers add in things like corn syrup, sugar, starches, fillers. Always check the labels. It's very, very important, especially with hot dogs. Now, you may have thought, looking at the hot dogs just now, that they look a little unwieldy to eat. That can be true. You can either just use a knife and fork, or you can do my favorite, wrap it in some lettuce leaves. It makes it a handy carrying package. It keeps your hands nice and neat. It gives a nice little crunch to it as well. Well, I hope I've inspired you to try this. For this recipe and many others, please check out our website, kitchentableproductions.net. I'm Jessica Brevoort, and this has been Kitchen Table Productions.